Hello and welcome to another collection video. This time around I'm going to be showcasing my CD collection. For the past, I want to say about two and a half years, I've been seriously trying to collect as many CDs as I can of artists that I enjoy, or in some cases, maybe some comedians who I enjoy. So I'm going to showcase all of the CDs that I've collected, with the exception of one. I can't fucking find it at the moment. But let's go ahead and get started. Here is my CD collection. Starting with the comedy pile, we have George Carlin's Life is Worth Losing, as well as Jammin' in New York. You can never go wrong with Carlin, even if you know the bits by heart, even if you've heard them 10,000 times. I mean, it's Carlin. We also have Adam Sandler's What the Hell Happened to Me, the only real musical outing from Sandler that I honestly think anyone needs. Mr. Baco's on it. Funny song. The rest, whatever. Also, a little Rick Cheese. Rick Cheese, always good. If you like parody music, I mean, come on, it's Rick Cheese. Move along from the comedy to the soundtracks. I know this top one is not necessarily a soundtrack. It is a CD sampler of earache music. I bought it strictly because it contains an anal cunt song. Technology's gay. It's like 25 seconds. Totally worth the $2.99 investment. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. It's kind of a terrible soundtrack, but it's a fantastic movie, and I can't bring myself to part with it. The Wedding Singer. A decent movie, kind of crap soundtrack. I honestly don't know why I own this, other than I guess I lied. There is another Sandler song that's worth owning. So look at me, learning things myself from this video. Moving along, we have the Pulp Fiction soundtrack, which definitely overrated, definitely kind of crap. But I mean, whatever. It's got the little bits from the movie in the middle, so I mean, whatever. Hairspray soundtrack. John Waters. He's a man who knows his music. All of his movies, for the most part, have pretty solid soundtracks, and if they all existed on physical release, I would own them all. They might, I don't know, I'm honestly not that up to date on the John Waters CD discography, but yeah, the Hairspray soundtrack, definitely recommend it. Here we also have the Crybaby soundtrack. It's kind of out of order here, but again, John Waters and his music, solid. We're going to round everything out here with the Jackie Brown, the greatest Quentin Tarantino film of all time. I will fight you about this. And Tenacious D, the Pick of Destiny soundtracks. One kind of subpar soundtrack, there's a couple of decent hits on it, and one pretty solid soundtrack for musicals, so it makes sense. But that will round out the soundtrack portion of my CD collection. Moving along, we have my G.G. Allin and Company CD collection. I'm not going to go through and show each and every one off. You've probably seen the unboxing video where I purchased a great deal of them. But needless to say, a big fan of G.G. and all of his works, as well as Merle's further works without him. Two murder junkies that are G.G.-less there. But yeah. A large chunk of G.G. Allin music here. Far too many dollars invested into G.G. Allin here. Probably more than he ever actually spent making an album. Who knows? Maybe we can prove something out of that. Here we have the weird music, if you will. Not necessarily the weirdest music in the collection, but the different music. We have Faith No More's Angel Dust. Not the greatest Faith No More album. It'd be the second best. I put The Real Thing above this. But, you know, a damn fine album. Faith No More, always bringing the thunder. I don't know why this damn sticker's on the back. Some sort of cataloging for the used place I bought it at. But, great album. Then we have the Exotic Sounds of the Altar Boys. If you ever wanted Mr. Bungle, but you couldn't get Mike Patton, you should probably just go with the Altar Boys. This album also famously features the late Ryan Dunn of Jackass fame. He apparently plays Cognac and additional vocals. So there you go. Drunk driving, kids. Don't do it. A bit of a crossover from that album. We have the Dog Fashion Disco Anarchist of Good Taste. How is that a crossover, you might ask? If you're unaware, same damn lead singer between the two. No real big reveal there. Then we have probably the last mindless self-indulgence album that will be listenable. If it's not the greatest. I found it at a Dollar Tree though, and for $1, I mean it's definitely worth the $1. The opening track, Never Wanted to Dance, and the closing track, Mark David Chapman, pretty good. There's one in the middle, Animal maybe, Revenge, I don't remember. One in the middle that was tolerable. The rest of it I can basically do without, but found it at Dollar Tree, man. Big MSI fan from the previous albums, Tight to You'll Rebel. 3 very good albums. This one, we have Necrophagist with Epitaph. Man, if you like your tech death metal, you get you some Necrophagist. I don't know why the Necrophagist is in the weird music pile, but whatever. I sorted these in like 4 seconds before I shot this video. Closing out the weird music pile, we have Mr. Bungle's Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo, which is not really a demo and not really a Mr. Bungle album. I mean, yeah, it's got a couple of the members, but it's also got, you know, Slayer and Anthrax in it, and it's just a generic thrash album. But I mean, hearing a 50-year-old Mike Patton sing generic thrash metal, kind of worth the price of admission. So that will round out the weird music stack as well as Necrophagist. Let's move along to some more metal. So the metal selection of my CD collection, we have the Lord Gwar duology of albums, the Resecond Orgy. I did an unboxing on this, a fantastic set of albums. Hopefully YouTube doesn't pop me for that image. We also have Impaled's The Dead Shall, or Still Remain, Dead Remain, I can't fucking speak today. But, gore metal, man, if you like gore metal. You get you some Impaled, you know what I mean? Or some Lord Gwar. You can't go wrong with either. We also have Carcardons, Roach, Stomper. I did an unboxing on that. Fantastic album. Almost flawless album. There's 1 or 2 slight missteps on this thing, but damn near the elusive 10 out of 10 album. Sepultura's Chaos AD, it is a 10 out of 10 album. I've listened to this thing probably more times than the Cavalera brothers did while making it. So, big fans. The only Sepultura I've ever needed. I never cared for Roots. I don't care about the later stuff with that Derek guy. I don't care about Soulfly or the Cavalera Conspiracy. Give me this album and this album alone, and I am good. Fantastic death metal album. Pantera's Reinventing the Steel. Nothing needs to be said there. I know you saw the unboxing of Obituary's Cause of Death, and if you didn't, close this, or pause this video, moreover, and go watch that son of a bitch. It's Obituary, man. You never can go wrong with an Obituary album, and you definitely cannot go wrong with the greatest Obituary album. So, good acquisition for the collection there. Couldn't think of the word. The Haunted's The Dead Eye. I mean, it's The Haunted, man. Peter Dolving, good times. You can't make shit out on the album. They were trying to make that Metallica album again, apparently. But great album musically. Not too much to really look at on the case. Then we have that couple of Arsis albums that I recently unboxed. We Are the Nightmare and A Celebration of Guilt. Arsis, man, a little more technical, speed, death, blackened, whatever the fuck kind of metal. Southern sludge metal legends I Hate God with their self-titled album from 2014? 2014, put out by Phil Anselmo's Housecore Records. Again, you've heard me say it a lot, but slightly different. If you're a fan of sludge metal, you get you some I Hate God, and there's just nothing else to it but that. Then we have Nazim's Inhale Exhale. Grind fans, you already know. If you're not a grind fan, fuck you, close the video. Great album. You know, tragic end for the band. What else is there to say? Nazim. That is almost about it for the metal selection in this stack. There are a few more metal albums up here. But then things get a little weird with a ton of Weird Al. Huge Weird Al fan, man. You can never go wrong with any Weird Al. Even the crappy modern pop that he's remaking is made almost listenable because Weird Al parodied it. We have Running with Scissors, Bad Hair Day, Poodle Hat, the music album, or pardon me, the TV album. I can't even read, man. Off the Deep End, Greatest Hits Volume 2, as well as the Tenacious D album on top. The Tenacious D album, coincidentally, I believe it's inside the booklet. Where's it at now? This son of a bitch came autographed, so that's pretty cool. Don't know when or where this was autographed by the D, but the D held this booklet in their hand at one point, and that officially makes it a little bit better than a standard D booklet. So there you have it, a ton of Weird Al and some Tenacious D, rounding out the weird and the metal stack. Now on to the final stack of CDs. What will be in this pile? Well, a bit of a spoiler. It's more metal. Starting out, we have Gwar's Carnival of Chaos. I know a lot of people don't like Comedy Gwar, but I don't like a lot of people. Comedy Gwar is fantastic, and Carnival of Chaos is one of their strongest albums of all time. Moving along, we have Gwar's Battle Maximus, one of Gwar's most boring metal albums of all time. It's like one generic metalcore song played on an endless loop for 35 minutes. There's like 3 standout tracks that sound a tiny bit different, but for the most part, it's completely forgettable, and that's honestly, that's pretty sad. Rest in peace to Dave Brockie, but, I mean, come on, man. Moving along, we have one of the crowning jewels in this collection, Carnivores Retaliation. The late, great Peter Steele, who, I mean, come on, man, he's Peter Steele. Before Typo Negative, he was a thrash metal musician in Carnivore, and this is the greatest Carnivore album. If you've never heard it and you're a Typo Negative fan, do yourself a favor and go check it out. I'm positive it exists on YouTube. You can hear every song on the album for free before deciding to make the investment to pick it up and own it like I do. Next up, we have a pair of Razor albums, Open Hostility and Shotgun Justice. Canadian thrash metal from the late 80s, early 90s. Pretty fun times. Never been big on the big 4 thrash metal acts. I always like the weirder little sub-genre thrash act, you know, Razor, Whiplash, things like that. A couple of Razor albums, pretty solid. A couple more crowning jewels in the collection here, ladies and gentlemen. Acid Bath, Pagan Terrorism Tactics, and When the Kite String Pops. 2 of the greatest American metal albums, just 2 of the greatest American albums ever made. If you're not a fan of Acid Bath, you're probably a loser who had a horrible childhood. Go check out some Acid Bath, but good luck finding them on YouTube. Hopefully Rotten Records doesn't see this video and try to pull it for showing off their damn CDs, because they didn't make a penny off those sales. We got a Cephalic Carnage album, Conforming to Abnormality. It's slightly before they reached the apex of their sound, so it's still a little rough around the edges, still a little toilet grind, but, I mean, come on, man, it's Cephalic Carnage. I'm gonna buy the album if you got it for sale, man. We got a pair of Macabre albums, which one of the albums which is missing is Macabre's Murder Metal. I don't know where the hell it went. I looked for it before shooting this video. It's gone missing. There should be a third Macabre here, though. Instead, though, we have Grim Scary Tales and the newest release, Carnival of Killers, which you hopefully have seen the unboxing for on this very channel. Macabre, fantastic band. Since 1984, they have never switched a member. That is dedication. That is fantastic camaraderie. That is a band. That is not just a couple of hired musicians playing some shit for Dave Mustaine or something like that. Moving along, we have another album that I've done an unboxing on, so I really don't have much to say about it. Venom's Calm Before the Storm. One of, if not, my #1 favorite Venom album, even though I know it's hated by most. That's probably why I like it. Rounding this collection video out, we have Barbarians, Cult of the Empty Grave. Italian, man, I don't even know what kind of music you would describe Barbarian as, other than they sound like Barbarian. If you're a fan of metal in general, a little black metal, a little death metal, a little, I guess you could say classic metal in the vein of Merciful Fate, throw all those elements together, export them from Italy, and you have Barbarian. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is the entirety of my CD collection. There is one other notable exception. I have a few Typo Negative discs. I don't know where the hell they've escaped to. But yeah, play that shit loud.